Hello everyone, my name is Dulce Leiva and I'm about to tell you about a very important issue happening currently in the Philippines. What is the conflict in Philippines? The conflict here is that the Philippines has been going through an alarming situation of extrajudicial executions and impunity for a couple of years now. My purpose here is to explain what is the situation and why is this a risk factor for the social welfare of the country. For this, it is necessary to receive context about it and a broad but concise description of the problem. Understanding what the parameters or positions are in this regard is also useful to understand what is the casualty of the situation of desperation in the country. The mention of figures that reflect the idea that is actually alarming will also be very important to give an effective example of how the situation has developed. Next, let me introduce you to the development of the Philippine situation that has been a source of discomfort for the Filipinos during the last 4 years. But before developing into the subject, we must understand by conceptual definition what we mean by extrajudicial execution and impunity. It is said that there is an extrajudicial execution when an agent belonging to the state security forces individually and in the exercise of his position arbitrarily deprives the life of one or more people. Related to this, we have impunity. Impunity refers to the absence of action or punishment in the face of illegal action. It is a practice in which the authorities ignore these events where there is an obvious violation of the human rights and the population. The police and the identified armed men, or those identified as authorities, know that they can kill without consequences or legal repercussions, because experience and the context of events and background also have reflected this. Amnesty International of UK and the Swiss Human Rights Council are among the independent organizations most interested in action on the issue. The Philippines and the citizens have a lot of external support in dealing with the situation, and this is a point in their favor. There are independent organizations concerned about the exhaustive investigation of the cases of human rights violations and abuses committed in the Philippines. This is not a worldwide unpunished situation. Amnesty International report states that the culture of impunity persists in the Philippines despite international pressure from civil society and human rights organizations over the last 4 years. The Philippine government said it would dedicate a group of researchers to developing a solution to the apparent problem, but no results have been published or generated in this regard. It is clear that Duterte's administration has no intention of bringing justice to the thousands of affected families, all while the president repeatedly invites violence and promises to protect the predators. It is now up to the Human Rights Council to build a strong independent investigative body while responding to the High Commissioner's repeated calls to continue to monitor the human rights crisis in the Philippines. Thank you.